Yo, what is up guys, Jinxon here, and today I'll be showing you guys my recent Excava build that I've been working on for the past week. Excava is a lightning-based assault rifle that has terrible base crit chance, although I do kind of like how it looks, because it sort of stands out, especially when you charge your grenade. It will cause the weapon to open up and glows. My build version is to go all in with electric damage in terms of weapon traits, cores, mods, and the inversion enhancement thingy as well. And the build is meant to be usable for all Descendants, and that includes Eugen, Ajax, Kyle, and even Luna. You can use it with like Haley or Enzo as well, but I don't really like them. So I made it to be a common weapon type of thing that anybody can use. And the build that I did will be mostly used for dealing with Colossus intercepts, instead of stuff like Void Erosion, since I haven't had any plan to use it for those. So for people who aren't familiar with the gun, it was released since Season 1 alongside Haley, and you can't get it anymore unless they let us purchase it from the vendors. The gun's unique ability is really easy to use. So like, when you shoot anything that can take damage, it will stack up voltage charge, and when you reach 21 stacks, it will convert it into 1 stack of energy grenade, which grants you increased critical chance. Now this critical chance will be added to your gun's base critical chance, which is really good and allows you to build crit on the gun. And then when you go into aiming mode, while having at least 1 stack of grenade, it will launch the grenade when you shoot and deals extra damage, but also consumes 5 bullets in exchange. Now what's really important isn't the grenade damage itself, but the debuff that the grenade causes when hitting the enemy. When you hit an enemy with the grenade, it will reduce electric resistance, which is a very important stat for not only Excava, but also other electric Descendants as well as guns. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to try going all in electric damage on the gun, and plus, the 2 newest Colossus that we have are also weak to electric attacks. So with that being said, I went for triple electric enhancement for my core setup, since there are 2 free augmentation slots, as well as an attribute augmentation on Excava. I actually got so pissed off when I re-roll this because like, it literally gave me anything but the electric enhancement when I re-roll it. Like, how is it even possible when I already did it for 20 times and yet it only gave me electric enhancement twice? But yeah, at least I got over it now and I managed to get 2 purple cores and luckily 1 yellow core for the attributes. As for the tactical augmentation slots, I actually think it's better to get double rounds per mag rather than fire rate, because the mod setup that I have kind of requires a bigger magazine capacity. Electric attack trait is absolutely important for this build, so you should try to re-roll that to yellow first and foremost, and then the other stuff can be purple if you're lazy. You can also maybe change rounds per mag into weak point instead, although your electric damage portion won't be affected by weak point, so keep that in mind. Now that I've covered cores and traits, next I'll be talking about the mods that I use for pretty much anything. The yellow mod that I picked for Excava is Sharpshooter, which requires a decently high mag capacity for it to be worth using. I actually kind of reconsider going for mental focus instead, and then re-roll to double mag capacity cores because I like seeing bigger numbers rather than fire rate. But it's way easier to reach max stacks of Sharpshooter, so I think in the end, Sharpshooter is still the best in slot for this gun. I probably might try that in the future maybe. If you guys do have a suggestion, please let me know in the comments. Electric enhancement is a must-have no matter what enemy you fight against, because it helps scaling your electric attack with the attribute core and stuff. And for those who aren't aware, the bonus electric attack that Electric Gun Barrel gives is literally the same as how attribute core works. So I prefer to have the gun barrel mod rather than the priority one. I got Reload Expert instead of Recycling Genius, because I always kind of reload my weapon anyway when I run around, so having the extra 1% firearm attack isn't too bad, instead of minus 0.1 reload speed. And the reason why I picked that reload speed mod is due to the weapon having like a whole 2 seconds reload time. Weapon tuning and expand weapon charge are a must-have for a sharpshooter build. And on a side note, maybe you can replace Reload Expert with Compulsive Magazine, because your electric damage isn't affected by weak point damage anyway. And lastly are the 3 most crucial mods that pretty much all guns should have. Charge amplification is also the only option for this build instead of bullet integration, because I'm not building any crit, so having crit would be kind of pointless. And so with this setup, you'll technically get near 1.2 million DPS on Excava, as well as over 100,000 electric attack. As for components, Distorted Resolve Power and Processor are the best in slot because they give you the highest amount of health comparing to Sensor and Memory. And as for Reactor, you can just farm any non-attribute reactor that includes health recovery modifier on it, so that you can have some extra survivability.